Welcome back to the Blowhorn Fans Cast.
Welcome back indeed.
We've got Brett in his morning clothes.
Yeah. Don't judge. You called me out.
I did.
And we have Don in his... Do you ever change?
No. It's the same every day of my life.
Yeah, shorts and t-shirt every single day. Gets up and works in the clothes he's wearing right now. Nobody has the courage to tell him otherwise.
I know. It's negative whatever, or it's 5 whatever, you know? Doesn't matter. I'm going to come out in shorts and t-shirt. That's how I do business.
They know they don't want to mess with you just because if you're brave enough to do that, what will you do to them?
Exactly. Rock their world. Anywho. So baseball's in a bad place.
Baseball is in a horrible place.
Yeah.
The lockout is still on, and the season was supposed to start, let's see, today's the 5th, so it's supposed to start 5 days ago. So they canceled the first 2 weeks officially. Who knows if it'll go longer, because...
Probably no longer.
They've met every single day, or at least almost every single day for hours, and you know how far they've gotten?
Nowhere. They're at like 10% of what they want.
Yeah. I'd say like not nowhere, like they got better, but like if you took a step closer to your goal, and your goal is a mile away, where are you? We round you to the same place. So that's where they're at.
Let's put it this way. That last deal that the owners offered before they canceled the games, right? 4 owners voted against them doing that offer because they thought the offer was too generous.
Yeah, it's like, how could you do that to your own game? You're going to be losing a lot. The players are losing a lot. The fans are losing a lot. And now there's even discourse with other people. I went to work the other day, and my boss was like, I don't know why all the players are being a bunch of crying babies when they could just accept the deal. And it's like, it's not that.
That's not the point.
That's not the point.
Jesus Christ.
But hearing my boss say that, I'm concerned to ask for a higher wage in the future.
I talked to, I was actually talking with my boss because she watches a lot of she watches a lot of hockey and a lot of football, right?
All right.
We talked about baseball a little bit just because she asked me what I was interested in and whatnot. I started a new job recently.
Yes.
But basically, she asked if the players were on strike, and I was like, no, the owners locked them out. And I had to clarify the difference between that. Because it's not, that's how the general public's going to see it, is that the players aren't playing because they don't want to play, not because the owners are being colossal dicks.
Yeah, because if you think about it, when did they do that? Was it right before January, or was it the very beginning of January they did this? And then their first offer was like 24 days later.
The lockout began, I'm pretty sure, in late December.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. It was like really late December or really early January. But then just like shortly, it wasn't shortly afterwards. It was like nearly a month later.
The lockout began December 2nd.
Okay, that's a lot earlier than I thought. I thought it was at the end of December.
No, it was December 2nd, and then there was no news of any meetings until...
January, I think.
Late January, I think it was. We lost basically almost 2 months to nothing.
Yeah, like, why? How could you do that? So, people looking at the players like it's their fault. It's not. Actually, Mike Trout, after the first day of lost games, he didn't tweet. He Facebooked.
Yes.
Or whatever you use to say posted on Facebook. Which is actually kind of funny, thinking that everybody always goes to Twitter to call out somebody. Mike Trout is like, nah, I'm going to be like I'm 90. I'm going to post on Facebook. Mike Trout is just built different. He did tweet it afterwards, but this is what he said.
He wanted to let his grandma know first.
Oh, yes. Mike Trout is just a family man.
Yes, he is.
He Facebooked, then tweeted this. I want to play, I love our game, but I know we need to get this CBA right. Instead of bargaining in good faith, MLB locked us out. Instead of negotiating a fair deal, Rob canceled games. Players stand together. For our game, for our fans, and for every player who comes after us, we owe it to the next generation. wow, Mike Trout is just built different. I love that quote.
Oh, yeah.
When Mike Trout calls you out, you should just give up.
Yeah, you're on the wrong side.
But every single person, I see a lot of posts going up where they're like, do you know how horrible you have to be for Mike Trout, probably one of the best baseball players of all time, and we're missing his prime days because of one, COVID, and
I know,
two,
he basically lost almost basically a season's worth of games over 2 years he's gonna lose.
Yeah. One of the best players of all time. What if that happened to, like, Babe Ruth, and even though I don't want to say it, Barry Bonds, like,
yeah,
missing games with him, it would have been insane, even though we don't agree with some things. He was still a great player.
It's no bueno. Not a good time.
Yeah, it's just, I'm so annoyed with how this is going. But, you know what is funny? You saw it too. Not just the players are calling him out, but what rank are they? The minors. The minors.
The minors?
The minors. Because, like, the Growlers.
The Growlers, the Larks, they're an unaffiliated Northern League, I think they're called.
Yeah, I couldn't really remember
it's the
what
equivalent
they exactly are.
of, I believe, A-ball.
Yeah, but it's hilarious because they banned Manfred from their game, saying he's not even for baseball, which means he shouldn't be accepted at baseball games, and banned this guy. He probably didn't ruin his day, but it's funny to get banned by these tiny leagues.
Yeah, it's actually great. So how long do you think this lockout's gonna go?
Well, what was our second guess? We were because I guessed hopefully that it would end right before.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's gonna take like a good portion of March, like to the end of March. I think we're gonna miss a month.
I think that we will up to miss through April 25th. Because
the 25th.
April 25th is when companies like Fox and NBC who run MLB games can ask for a refund for the season.
Oh.
Right. So if they miss any games beyond that point, then the owners are actually risking millions and millions of dollars for this.
I hate that if they just do that just to save themselves money after they do all of this against everyone.
Right. So I imagine they'll make a deal before then.
It's so annoying.
This game was a big deal because CBS went to commercial on the game-tying free throw.
Alabama and LSU?
Yeah.
Like right here?
Yeah.
They went to commercial on it?
Mm-hmm. Before that last shot.
Who does that? There was like a few seconds left.
And there was, I believe, 8 seconds left in the game. And they went to commercial and went to a game that hadn't even started yet.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd be so mad.
Oh, yeah.
What else was there? Oh, I guess I feel like it slightly follows with the lockout, but I feel like it also has nothing to do with the lockout. Derek Jeter stepped down from the CEO of the Marlins.
Yes.
Yes. Everything I read about it, I don't think anything was for certain yet, or maybe it was, and I didn't fully look into it. But he left, and they think it was the change of plans of post-lockout spending. Competitive integrity was one of the lines. Stuff like that, where there could be multiple reasons or a few, but Derek Jeter left as the CEO, as a 4% owner of the Marlins. Now, there is also just a few things that popped up after that. They're like, Derek Jeter for MLB commissioner. I was like, that seems like a high jump, but I feel like anyone is better than, the who we have now.
What? That's wild.
Yeah, it's a lot of things have been popping up where they're like, wow, Manfred will not punish the Astros for what they did, but he'll punish the whole MLB for asking for a little bit more money. And it's like, yes. There is one other thing that happened, I believe. Or did I cover it all?
I think you went through everything we had to say about it.
I know, I thought I had one more, but I think that would have been Derek Jeter.
There's going to be another... Oh, I guess there's 2 big things to talk about, I guess, left with baseball.
Okay.
One, there's another meeting scheduled for tomorrow between them.
Yeah.
But 2, the MLBPA has launched $1 million fund to help workers affected by the owners' lockout.
That's nice of them.
Yep.
I feel like that's the thing that
It's also got backing from the AFL-CIO, which, if you don't know, is the largest union in the United States.
Wow. I wonder, because all the stuff I see is on Twitter and through my eyes of seeing it through the players, you know.
Yeah.
I wonder how, like, the actual news is broadcasting this. Are they broadcasting, like, oh, players are against, or...
I imagine it's mostly just not in the news because it's baseball.
That's true.
Baseball has done everything in their power since the mid-90s to disappear from the public consciousness. I would not be shocked if in 20 years baseball's not the number 2 sport in America, but very clearly number 3, if not pushing for number 4.
Baseball's slowly killing itself.
Yeah, I imagine in 20 years football will still be king, but basketball will have taken over as the number 2. And I wouldn't be surprised if something like soccer made its way up to the level of like the NHL and MLB.
This is just a sad day. I don't...
Don't worry, the NHL will never overtake it just because of the cost associated with getting into hockey in the first place.
Fair. It's just... Poor baseball. We need a new commissioner. Do you think a new commissioner could help baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't think like it's the fix-all, but it certainly would help.
It would be the
Manfred
steps.
very clearly doesn't care about the sport.
I think he cares more about like the business side where it's money.
Which is, that's all good. If you're a commissioner, you're going to want a guy that's money, right?
Yeah.
But you want them to also care about your sport. I like the, oh god, what was his name? The commissioner before Manfred.
Oh, I can't remember. I don't even remember when Manfred came in.
Because everybody hated him, but he actually, like, gave a shit about the sport, and that was, like, the big difference.
Yes.
Bud Selleck.
Okay.
Bud Selleck. He did a lot of things to help the sport. He was like, oh yeah, we'll do, interleague play. Basically, he helped fix how games worked.
Okay.
Like how scheduling worked in the league to make it a lot...
Which is very important.
Right. Even though he was hated by a lot of people for the way he handled, like, strikes and lockouts, right? Because he was very pro-business. But he still gave a shit about the sport, and outside of the 94 strike, they didn't have a work stoppage under him. And 94 strike was very early on in Selleck's time.
Do you think every commissioner is just destined to be hated?
No. The 4 major sports in America, right?
Yeah.
They're commissioners, okay. We've got Manfred, who just doesn't like baseball.
Yeah, nobody likes Manfred either.
Right. Roger Goodell, people don't like, but also that's mostly because of his arbitrary punishments.
Ah, I see.
If you took that power away from the commissioner of football and just made it like a set guidelines, I doubt very many people would care one way or another on the commissioner. Adam Silver.
What about Adam Silver?
He's the commissioner of basketball. He gets a lot of love. People actually think he's done a really great job replacing David Stern. Really, I think the only big thing that hits him is he gets a lot of shit for how the NBA handles China.
Oh, I see.
But certainly not the worst in the world. And then you have Gary Bettman for the NHL.
All right.
I think he's probably I don't know. He's both done a good job, but is also maybe the most hated of all of the commissioners. So, yeah. He's expanded hockey in the U.S., which pissed off the Canadians. He relocated teams, which pissed off people in the northern U.S. who had their teams robbed, like Minnesota, under him. Because Minnesota, before the Minnesota Wild, we had the Minnesota Stars. And they moved them to Dallas, made them the Dallas Stars, and we got the Wild. And the Wild suck, and the Stars, shortly after getting moved, won a championship. So that was great. The Quebec Nordiques became the Colorado Avalanche, the Winnipeg Jets became the Phoenix Coyotes, and then they got Winnipeg another team.
What? Just keep the teams there, then make a new team somewhere else.
Right? Why do you have to move the teams all the time? Doesn't make goddamn sense. So, yeah, I think the long and short is that...
He just makes questionable moves.
Yeah. I think most people would probably say Manfred's the worst commissioner.
I would say Manfred's the worst.
And then that Adam Silver is probably the best.
Yeah. That's... Come on, let's get rid of Manfred. When is he done? When can we replace him?
I don't know when his contract's up.
I don't either.
I know Roger Goodell re-upped his contract last offseason.
Okay. Well, maybe...
I think it was a 29-1 vote to keep him amongst ownership. Or 29-2, something like that. Because Packers don't have a vote.
They don't?
They don't have an owner.
Oh.
So...
I almost feel like it has to be close because a bunch of people are talking about it, but then again, they might just be talking about it because
they're upsetty.
Yeah.
Spaghetti.
So, I don't have time to read these. Anyway, so that's what's happening in baseball, and apparently it's just Manfred being Manfred.
I think that's, but yeah, I mean, Manfred's up. Baseball's gonna lose at least 2 weeks of games. The AFL-CIO did a great thing here, stepping in for the support staffs and allowing them to not be completely flipped over by it. We'll see.
I need baseball to be all put together because I already planned a trip for 4th of July weekend.
Oh.
To see the Twins, to see the Cubs, and then see the White Sox play against the Twins on the 4th of July.
Okay.
Yeah. And
we'll see if that happens.
I hope that happens. That is the hope, because, I planned it. I was like, dang, this would be cool. Finish on the 4th of July with the Twins playing against the White Sox. We'll see if the Twins are even good this year, but it's a shortened season, which proves that the Twins will probably be trash.
Yeah.
And then I can see the Cubs, though. I can actually enjoy that. But that is... I hope things are good by then, because I really need baseball, because truth be told, college baseball is not filling this void. And talking about college baseball, let's look at what I've been looking at with college baseball. So, a few things that have been happening. Some players, as I mentioned last week, have been doing absolutely amazing, like an actual MLB player would. A player threw 100 miles per hour pitch, which is just insane.
Right.
Another thing that happened is the College Liberty uniform announcement, which is probably one of the greatest uniform announcements ever. I showed you that before.
Yes.
And you have to admit that it is a really good announcement.
It's a great announcement. It's still like the school.
That's fair. I'm just saying the announcement's nice. That doesn't mean the school is good.
Right.
Or
apparently UCLA mercied Oklahoma in 7 innings. 15-3.
Think about how bad you have to be doing just to be mercy. That must be just a sad game.
Yeah. There was also a spicy game between Nevada and Air Force. It finished 19-18 after 13 innings.
Those games are always like some of the more intense ones.
Yeah, they're both mediocre teams.
But that's besides the point.
37 runs and 40 hits. Now that's baseball.
You know, that almost sounds like a Twins game in general. Have you ever looked at some of the stats for Twins games, like during the Bomba Squad?
I did not.
The Twins would throw up like 11 runs or something like that.
Right.
And then the other team would also throw up like 9 or 10 runs. So, moral of the story is the Twins' like defense was, well, like the players can do their things, but it's the pitching that did horrible. So the Bomba Squad was like on both ends. It's just we hit more home runs than the other team. Is the moral of the story. That's the reason why Yankees were able to just end us every year. Is because we're good at hitting home runs. We're just not good at much else. So yeah, that's the news of college baseball. But you have some college news yourself.
Yes. College basketball. Thrilling. Exciting.
I'm not a fan of basketball, but please, oh please, do tell me. What is the news?
Several tournaments have begun play for their conference tournaments. So
a bunch
of schools have already been eliminated. So we have 80 schools that are already out.
Wow.
For any chance of making to the dance, right?
All right.
Including UND from the Summit League.
Oh.
The Summit League only takes top 8 out of 9 schools.
Cool. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Summit League play also starts today. South Dakota State and Omaha will open it up at 6 p.m.
Let's go Omaha.
And that brings us to South Dakota State. Holy guac.
Yeah, listen to
good.
these horrible stats that he's going to say.
Dude, South Dakota State is shooting 45% from 3 and 53% from the field. Okay? There is only one other school shooting over 50% from the field, and there are only 2 other schools shooting over 50% from 3. Like, they're kind of in there's maybe like 2 schools in the same neighborhood as South Dakota State as far as offensive efficiencies. Like, they're tremendously good at offense. Defensively, I mean, they're okay.
Do you think that'll be their downfall?
Yeah, probably. But if they can shoot like 3, it doesn't matter. The key, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but the key to all of these small schools that make runs in the NCAA tournament, they can shoot from 3.
Really?
Yes.
They don't have to push through all that.
Right, because guess what? The big schools are going to have the big athletes that can dominate in the paint. But if you're shooting up 3 and your opponent's only bringing in 2, they're going to lose.
Is that what that half circle's called? The paint?
Yeah.
Oh. Never heard that before.
Okay.
Yeah, news to me.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I mean, the Jackrabbits have a legitimately great offense and an okay defense. This team should make some noise in the tournament.
What if... Yeah, we still need to find something for you for when they go all the way and win it all.
Yeah.
Like that ice bucket challenge, it'd still be March up here, it'd still be cold, you could do that.
Yeah, I'll hunt a jackrabbit down, because there's one that's by my work.
You have to get it by your hands.
Yeah, I have to
during the
chase
daylight,
like
during work hours, so everybody can be like...
So people can be like, oh, he's stealing company time.
Yeah, what's Don doing out there? Then you could like get that jackrabbit by your hands and be like, I got it!
Darn right.
You have to tame it. That might be your thing. You have to tame it. Like, I don't know if you ever read The Little Prince where he tames the fox. That'll be you. You'll have to go and befriend this jackrabbit in honor of the SCSU Jackrabbits.
Yeah. Some other fun things in college. Hoops. Purdue and Indiana, greatest rivalry game in the sport. Purdue won it 69-67.
Let's go, 69.
Purdue, by the way, one of those schools that's actually offensively comparable to South Dakota State. It's Colgate and Purdue are the only schools I would say are in the same neighborhood.
Really?
Yes. Purdue's ranked 8th in the country right now.
I have a friend who goes to Purdue.
I have a guy who was bullied in my school that went to Purdue.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, just thought of that.
So we both know somebody from Purdue.
Right. My one thing I remember about him is there was this girl who was dating a guy a year ahead of us, right?
All right.
And he got drafted by a minor league baseball team, right?
That's
but
cool.
He decided he'd rather go to college than play in the minors, right?
Yeah.
And she said that, yeah, he got drafted and he was... And this guy was like, drafted by what? The Army?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Recruited.
Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah, I suppose the only other fun things I've got to say here, the college basketball bot on the subreddit broke for a little bit because it definitely shows that Richmond beat St. Bonvidier 65-0.
Wow.
And I doubt they won it 65-0. Yeah, the final score is actually St. Bonvidier beating Richmond 72-65.
Wow.
I think the bot broke. St. Bonvidier really said we're not playing.
What are you talking about? It's a chance. Like, imagine like a team of me and you somehow made it to this tournament and we're playing against actual players. Actually, you might be able to make one. Maybe one. I couldn't. I could tell you that right now. I would shoot and I would miss horribly. I wouldn't even be like covered. This is how bad I am at basketball. If we played horse and I was playing against myself, I'd be there for like 3 weeks.
I mean, we're both absolutely trash at playing basketball. I think we'd be there, all year if we played a game of horse against each other.
Truth be told, I think you'd be able to beat me. I feel like you're probably actually better at basketball than I am.
I'm pretty bad. bad.
But
Troy
for
State,
college basketball, anything else other than the fact we're watching DePaul and UConn?
DePaul's on a hot streak. They won 3 straight Big East games.
Ooh, but 30 seconds in, they're already behind 2-0.
Yeah, that's a real tough one to come back from.
Very tough. I don't think it's possible.
I wonder if there's someone who's kept a stat of who scores first, how often they win in college basketball.
You'd almost think there'd have to be.
Yeah, probably. I'm looking for that for next time.
Yeah, you're usually the one who finds those stats. But we'll see how this game goes.
Yeah.
But otherwise, until that time comes, shall we move on to what
NHL?
Yeah.
Hockey news.
You really got excited for a moment there.
Yeah, I thought about it, and I realized there is one thing really, really worth talking about in hockey. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in hockey.
There's always things going on in hockey. I just can't keep track of it all.
Right. Kind of the same for me. I watched a little bit here, but yeah. So while a lot of teams have done like a lot of Ukrainian stuff to, support the Ukraine, whatever, right?
Yep.
The Washington Capitals, their star players, Ovechkin, right?
Yes, Ovechkin.
Who his profile pic, if on Instagram, by the way, is him and Putin hanging out. They banned any references to Russia or the Ukraine from their stadium.
Wow.
Yeah. I just figured, that's a small thing, but I figured, maybe throw that one in there.
Here I thought it was another fight. I see so many fights a week in hockey. I'm like, oh, I could talk about that. But then I realized that would just be like...
That was the greatest fight. That fight with the Rangers last year was the greatest fight ever.
What happened in that one again?
The game before the Rangers and... I can't remember who they played. But it was the game before that they played. This one dude on the Rangers got in a fight with them, right?
Yeah.
They didn't punish anybody on the opposing team, and they gave a suspension that effectively ended the season of the Rangers player. And it was especially a big deal because the Rangers player got cheap shotted with a hit that genuinely could have caused serious injury. Anyways, the Rangers social media team and ownership made public statements after that game calling out the NHL's player safety people as garbage at their jobs, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
At puck drop of their next game, because they were in a 3-game series with them, right? And that was game 2. So game 3 of this 3-game series, at puck drop, 4 simultaneous fights broke out with the Rangers players attacking the other guys. There was a point where they had 6 players in the penalty box.
That's intense.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. It's good.
Yeah, that's hockey. That's why I like to watch hockey, but I don't know what usually are important highlights.
And I guess if you want to talk on the national scene for international scene for games, Kyrgyzstan made a fucking point.
Wait, what?
Kyrgyzstan's team played Malaysia's squad in the IHF Division 4 championships.
Malaysia has a hockey team?
Yeah, a bunch of countries have hockey teams. But it was for their division, it's kind of their championships levels, right? In the semifinals, Kyrgyzstan beat Iran 13-1. And then in the championship game, they beat Malaysia 22-1.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Apparently they just destroy.
They made a point.
Wonder what they'd be like playing against Canadians' team. Because it feels like northern teams are just usually better than every other team.
Yeah.
Usually.
I mean, it's just... That's upcoming hockey superpower. Kyrgyzstan to you, Brett.
I just need to watch this game of them just destroying Canada's team. Or wait, who's the best team right now? For minutes.
Worldwide?
Yeah, is it America for men? Because I think they won in the Olympics, but does that mean anything?
No. The IIHF Division 1, currently, Kazakhstan, actually.
Really?
Yes. They had to cancel the last 2 years because of COVID, but yeah, Kazakhstan. Well, basically Division 1's divided into 2 groups. Those 2 groups, the champions were Belarus and Kazakhstan.
All right.
And they also do a promotion relegation system, so countries move up and down.
All right.
So Romania went to Division 1 while Lithuania got dropped to Division 2, or Division 1B, and then Netherlands got dropped to Division 2.
Oh, just to make sure things were fair?
Yeah, basically, as teams get better. So a team like Kyrgyzstan here, destroying the competition in Division 4 means they're going to move up to Division 3 next year.
Oh, they're all the way down to Division 4.
Right.
So we'll see what Division 3 looks like for them.
Right. Honestly, it's a lot like when the Soviet Union fell apart and all of those Soviet bloc countries broke up, right? When, like, Czechoslovakia broke up, the Czech Republic got to keep the Division 1 status that their team had.
There you go.
Slovakia was given Division 3 status. Slovakia that year won their games by combined 103-18.
Oh my goodness. Just destroyed.
Yeah, so it's fun. The U.S. competes in Division 1 consistently. It's just they haven't been champions since '83.
So they're good, but not like...
They're not... Yeah, they're good enough to play with the best. They're just not necessarily the best. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you ever look at where players come from in the NHL, a lot of it's Eastern Europe.
Yeah. All right. So that's the hockey news.
Canada,
in the hockey in Canada. In the hockey background of the world that I didn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
So, to our last point of this beautiful discussion, NASCAR.
Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom. Skirt, skirt.
Skirt, skirt. Beep, beep.
They don't have horns, do they?
No, they do not. It weighs the car down.
I wish they all had horns, and then when they like cut each other off, it'd be like, wow, wow, nerd. Oh, but it's like one of the little cars where it's like, neat, neat. Like, it's not even like a scary, like a get out of my way. It's just like, neat, neat.
Yeah.
Or no, each one's different. So the Chevy sounds like a semi, whereas the Toyotas make the little neat, neat.
Neat, neat.
And then Fords go...
Fords just break down.
The Fords just break down.
Oh, wait, they already do that.
Hey, they don't even need a horn.
Ford's the trendsetter, guys. Man, I wish Buick still did NASCARs. Buick was just the random one. Have you ever looked into Buick?
No.
So Buick only did NASCAR for like 12 years or something like that. But it was mostly just very middling cars, right? Randomly, because this was when it was still stock cars, right?
Yeah.
Where that meant something, where these cars were supposed to be pretty close to what you could actually buy, you know?
All right.
Because nowadays it's not really a stock car race anymore, is it?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I definitely can find Joey Logano's car at my local dealership.
Yeah, can't you? You just have to remove all the valuable stuff and drive it on the road.
Right. So back when it was still stock car racing, Buick competed in it. And randomly I think it was 1993, they made the fastest car, like in the history of the sport.
They really wanted to
just
win
for
that
1 year, they had like the best fucking car ever, and their team won the championship.
Why?
And then it went back to being like, oh yeah, Buick's okay, but they're not great.
They're like, hey, we can make the best car out there. We just choose not to. Fear us.
Well, it's not even... I don't even think they really, like, were trying to. They just accidentally made a great car.
Do you think Buick just, like, runs things into the wall until eventually one thing works?
Yeah. It was a Buick LeSabre. Buick LeSabre. I actually owned a Buick LeSabre.
Really?
Yeah, that was what my old Buick was.
Oh, the one that exploded?
Yeah. It was
You know, that's not even that dramatic to what actually happened.
It really isn't. Truly beautiful.
It's really... Hey, it went out in a blaze of glory at a gas station.
Yes.
It really wanted to go out with a bang.
Darn right it did.
Thank goodness it did not.
Damn, dude.
We'd make like the national news.
Yeah. You know, it'd be alright,
Buick
though.
blows up gas station. Local driver said, I don't know what happened.
Oh, what happened, guys?
I was filling it up. It was on fire. I thought I could put it out, but apparently gas goes up higher.
Gas doesn't put out fire. Who would have thought? Not me. Yeah. So cars go fast. Vegas is tomorrow.
Yes, you are excited about that.
I am.
You're gonna be watching that. I will not.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you better tell me what happens, and tell me. I actually, for my NASCAR picks, I almost need you to do these picks now since you're watching. But I have NASCAR picks. Shall I tell you them?
Go for it.
All right. So you can have 5 drivers and 1 on the bench, and then you can pick up matchups. So the matchups have 2 players going against each other, and you pick which one will place higher. All right? Follow?
Yeah, I do.
All right. So the 5 people I have running, I have Austin Cindric, Joey Logano, Eric Almirola, Kyle Larson, and Ryan Blaney. All right.
Okay.
In my bench, in my garage, I have Kyle Busch.
In your garage. That's funny.
Yeah,
That's a good line.
Yeah, in
Damn, dude. Whoever made that, props to you.
and then the featured matchups is Chase Elliott versus Kyle Larson. I chose Elliott, probably as everyone else did.
Probably.
Kyle Busch versus Joey Logano. I picked Busch. William Byron versus Tyler Reddick. I picked Tyler Reddick. And then Kurt Busch versus Austin Dillon. I picked Kurt Busch. Do you think? I don't know. You haven't really probably looked into any new players.
It was Kurt Busch and who?
Kurt Busch and
Tyler Reddick.
Kurt Busch and Austin Dillon.
Austin Dillon.
You're thinking? Well.
Okay, I would definitely be taking Austin Dillon.
You'd be picking Austin Dillon?
Oh, it's a wildly definitely. Definitely.
All right. If it's Kurt Busch, I'll just be like, come on, Don. You led me astray.
Dude, I'm just looking at qualifying times, and Austin Dillon's out here with a 30-second 10th place qualifying time, and Kurt Busch is out there with a 31-second 31st qualifying time.
He's going to avoid the crashes.
He's going to avoid the crashes. That's what you sound like.
He's
going to avoid the crashes. That's why he's so good. He goes from room, Mr. Things.
Why does it sound like we're playing with Hot Wheels?
Because that's what NASCAR is. It's adult Hot Wheels.
I'm like, hey, my guy can drive faster than your guy. And you're like, my guy can drive faster than your guy. And then you like run your Hot Wheel into my hand, and then I start, because like we're supposed to be children, I start crying, say, Don hurt me. And then you're like, but I win.
But I win, and the NASCAR officials will disqualify my car.
Which is known as Mom.
Right.
Oh my gosh, NASCAR is adult Hot Wheels.
Yeah, we figured it out.
Wow.
This is why people like to watch it.
Except it's all just like very going like you tell me how you think of it tomorrow. Vroom vroom. Alright, what other words do you have for NASCAR other than we really went on a full tirade there, but
you know, I don't have a ton to say about it. I'm just kind of interested to see how the race will go.
Do you know who your guesses would be for tomorrow?
Okay, let me pull up the qualifying times again.
These people have qualifying position. They don't have the times next one, but
okay.
Person first.
Kyle Larson gonna get another win today.
Okay.
He's gonna win. Joey Logano and Tyler Reddick are going to crash into each other.
Really?
Through an argument. Yep.
Through an argument. They'll be yelling at each other.
Oh yeah, it's that right there. That's gonna be a all season fight. I like Martin Truex, so I hope he does well.
That's fair.
Man, looking through these names. There's a few people I recognize. Greg Biffle's still racing. Didn't know that. He's not very good, but he's still racing.
Hey, look at that, though.
Kyle Busch and Kurt Busch are still going. I'll be at that Kyle Busch is going to start at the back of the pack.
But you can always make that up.
How often do people start at the back and make it up?
A lot. When you're good.
No. This isn't a video game.
It's not
where
a
you
video
skip
game.
the qualifying and you just win anyways.
So true.
Oh, man.
I just really like every single time he just passes a lap, like goes through a lap. You'll have to be like those Bush commercials.
Yeah.
Bush. It really makes the game a lot better. It also, I can see why NASCAR fans, you'll usually see them drinking Coors or Bud, but you'll see them drinking Busch because you gotta cheer on Busch. Busch. This is not a commercial for Busch, by the way. I'm just doing this for fun.
Greg Biffle, though, I mean, you know, might make noise.
Are you gonna cheer for Biffle?
Biffle's gonna get a top 10 finish.
Your neighbors really choose poor times to vacuum.
You know, it happens.
We should get a broomstick and like every time your neighbor makes a noise, just
don't make a fight. I don't want to fight a neighbor.
Yeah, fight your neighbor.
I feel like labeling. Anyways, next week.
So next week,
big
Jinx,
things.
you owe me a soda. I don't play by those rules of Jinx, Don. Can talk.
Okay. Otherwise, the end of this podcast is going to be quite quiet.
Yes, I'd just be talking to myself. Hello, Brett.
We got
hello, Clarice.
3 big pieces coming up next week.
3 big things. What's going on?
We'll have an update on the Lockout wherever we are.
Yes.
That's pretty typical of us at this point.
You know, when it comes to baseball, it's my life and my blood, even though I've never played it officially.
Right.
Backyard games, but never... Well, I've been in T-ball. I was a very mediocre T-ball player.
I could hit the ball.
Hey, I could hit the ball, but I probably went like a foot ahead. I was like a little runt, so I had like a... You know, that big baseball helmet? I'm trying to run, but it's like flopping all over the place.
Right.
And I didn't know the rule of... you can't really run outside the line because somebody was coming to take me. I'm like, you can't catch me. And then I ran around them. So, and then they're like, you can't really do that. And I was like, who said?
Who said I can't do that?
Nobody ever taught me the rules of T-ball. Come on, you hit the ball and run. What you do?
God. So that's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
See, I got you your Coke.
You did get me my soda.
Yep. The other big things, we're going to have a preview of the NFL free agency that'll open up.
Yes.
All sorts of good news there, big names. Of course, I think we've mentioned it before that Devontae Adams is definitely the biggest name entering free agency this year.
Yes.
We'll talk potential landing spots for some of these guys, some guys that we're interested in seeing where they're going, and maybe what you feel the Packers should be going for and what I feel the Vikings should be going for.
I'm going to have to do a lot more research on that.
And then college basketball. We'll talk... The bracket will be out by the time we record, and so we will have made our brackets, and we'll kind of talk maybe a few key points from them.
Yep, we'll do that. Also, our co-friend also wants to join in on that bracket for the March Madness.
Co-friend?
Yeah. Mimosa.
There's many co-friends.
Who else starts with an M to use Mimosa?
But we usually have a group of 6 or 7 people that do it in groups.
I use the term mimosa to try to...
Yeah, I get who you're talking about now, but I'm just saying that there's 6 or 7
I messaged
people
you
that
the other day
goes in
on
the
this.
Group. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. And then you responded with something completely different.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. It was in Snapchat, so we need to just text because odds are we forget a lot of stuff.
I'm just saying.
You didn't save the
I
message.
got where when do you want to do the thing? And then I've got Selection Sunday.
Yeah, when do you want to do the thing?
And then I've got...
That's what it was. When do you want to do the bracket?
Wait, I thought you were talking about Mimosa.
Yeah.
That's not in here.
Clearly it is. It was described. Anyways.
Don't believe that. Anywho, yeah, I mean, I guess if we have other people in there, we can talk about their brackets too if we wanted to.
So it would be a quick mention to see how similar. Not fully, but how similar, because I want to win.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have if it's like last year, we'll probably have 6 or so people in our thing.
Yeah.
Our pool. I think that's what we did last year, right?
Something like that.
It was A&A.
Did we even do one last year? Because that was coming out of COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did one last year.
Okay.
2020's was canceled. 2021 had one.
Okay. I couldn't remember because last year was very iffy for me.
2021 was the one where I ended up in the top 95%.
That's right.
Or the top 5%, other way around.
The last 2 years really just like blend together for me. Or 3. What year are we?
A long
Baseball has been a hollow point for the past 2 years. So does the year really exist without baseball?
We'll find out. He nervously laughs because he knows it's true.
Yeah, just cry on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the main points of next week on the bracket: the baseball, football, hockey. I don't know if it. Any fun points that may happen between today and next time.
Yep. Next 8 days because we're doing it 1 day later than normal.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
All right, and also, guys, remember, this is going to be our first episode on Apple Podcasts officially because we wanted you to have a nice, beautiful image. Go to our old YouTube episodes and you can see the old one to the new one. It'll be fun. So now that it'll be on Apple Podcasts, remember to tell your friends, rate us on Apple Podcast, and if you got back with your significant other, let us know, and please tell them about this so they can listen too, and your friends and your family. Anything else, Don?
No, I think that about wraps her up.
All right, thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Don, for chatting again.
Boo.